Hello, in this video we are going to be looking at long division and particularly long division while dividing with a two-digit divisor. So firstly, what do I mean by a two-digit divisor? Well, on the screen there is a question. It says 240 divided by 14. So when we have a question like this, this number here, the number that's being divided, we call it a dividend. So let me write that on the screen. And this number here, the number that we're using to divide the bigger number, we call this the divisor. Okay, so we are looking at how we use long division to work out questions that have a two-digit divisor, like this one. The number 14 has two digits. Okay, so firstly, what I need to do is I need to bring both these numbers into this bus stop. So the number that goes inside the bus stop, as you know, is the bigger number. Well, not always the bigger number, but in this case, it's this number, the dividend. So 240. And then on the outside of the bus stop over here, we put the divisor. We put the number 14. So 1, 4. Okay, so next step is I've got to look at this number and I need to ask myself, how many times does it go into the first number, the number 2? And of course, 14 doesn't go into 2. 14 is much bigger than 2, okay? So we leave it and we extend it to the next number as well. So now I'm asking myself, how many times does 14 go into 24? Okay, so a good way of doing this is to quickly think of my 14 times table. So 1 times 14 equals 14. 2 times 14 equals 28. 3 times 14 equals 42. And I'm going to leave it there for now. Now go back to my question. So how many times does 14 go into 24? Well, it only goes once, doesn't it? 1 times 14 is 14 because 2 times 14 is 28, and that's bigger than 24. So 14 only goes into 24 once. So I'm going to put 1 above the 4 here. Now what I'm going to do is do 14 times 1, which is 14, and write that underneath the 24 here. And I'm going to subtract the 14 from the 24. So 24 subtract 14 gives me 10. Okay, so I'm left with 10, but this time I now need to bring the next digit down. So I'm going to bring the 0 down, and we're working with 100. So I ask myself, how many times does 14 go into 100? So I'm going to keep going on with my times table. 4 times 14 equals 56. 5 times 14 equals 70. 6 times 14 equals 84. 7 times 14 equals 98. 8 times 14 equals 112. Okay, so how many times does 14 go into 100? Well, it goes 7 times. It doesn't go 8 because that's too big. 112 is bigger than 100, so I have to stop at 7 times 14, which is 98. So it goes in 7 times, so I need to write that above the 0. It goes in 7 times. Now the number that we landed on, the 98, this is the number that I need to bring down underneath the 100. So 9, 8. And once again, I subtract the 98 from the 100, and that's going to give me 2. Okay, so now I'm left with 14 going into 2, which obviously doesn't work. 14 is much bigger than 2. There are no other numbers to bring down, so this is my remainder. So the answer to this question is 17, remainder 2. Okay, so I'm going to do it one more time with this next question, 252 divided by 12. So once again, I write the dividend, 252, underneath the bus stop, 252. And on the outside of the bus stop, I'm going to write 12, my divisor. Okay, so once again, I need to ask myself, how many times does 12 go into this first number? How many times does 12 go into 2? And of course, it doesn't go into 2. So I get the next number involved. And I ask myself, how many times does 12 go into 25? Well, let's do the 12 times table. So 1 times 12 equals 12. 2 times 12 equals 24. 3 times 12 equals 36. So 2 times 12 is 24. 3 times 12 is 36. This is too big. Okay, so we're going to be looking at this one here. 2 times 12 is 24. So 12 goes into 24 twice. So I'm going to put 2 above the 5 here. Now the number that I landed on, 24, 2 times 12, I am going to write that underneath my 25. So let's do that. And once again, I'm subtracting this number, 24, from the number above it, 25, which gives me 1. Okay, and then I bring this next digit down. How many times does 12 go into 12? Well, it goes obviously once, exactly once, with no remainder. So my answer is 21. Okay, so watch this video as many times as you need to until you fully understand it. And when you think that you finally understand it, have a go at these 2 questions. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.